We had news and gold spiked down. It has pulled back. I am going to enter a sell because I think it's still got some room to push down based off of that. Let's look at the news and see exactly what happened. So we had news on CAD, USD, and so CAD came in a mixed bag. Employment change was supposed to be 12.2K, came down at 0.1K. Not good for CAD. Employment rate, expectation was 5.9, came in at 5.8. Not good. Well, that was good for CAD. So you had a mixed bag with CAD. And then USD, average hourly earnings. Supposed to be, the expectation was 0.3. It's stuck at 0.4, so that was good for the USD. But the big thing here was the non-farm employment change, which was expected to go down to 168K, but instead came in at 216K, which is even higher than the 199 from the previous period. And then employment rate stayed stable at 3.9%. It's supposed to going up to 3.8, so that was still good. So the main factor was that right there. So let's go back to woo. All right, so I had plugged into gold, but gold has since reversed. The reversal is a little vicious here because we're down -1. Well, total is -1,000 plus, so that's not looking good. USD CAD has also reversed. I do believe it's going to come back. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to, because I do believe that it's going to come back. I had pound USD as well. It also retracted. Maybe I went in a little bit too hot, which was kind of early, so let's wait and see what happens. Drawdown is not looking good, man. This is shoot. All right, we'll be back. Whew. Today the market whooped me, right? I got whooped by the market today. And why did that happen? It happened because of 3 mistakes I made after I pulled back and tried to understand what happened, right? So as you can see right here, the day is ending in negative 2,700 plus the fees. So basically 2,900, negative 2,900, right? So that's a big loss for me anyway. That's a big loss, and the market whooped my ass. Now, what happened? First, let me show the trades. Okay, these are all the trades that took throughout the day. I won most of my trades. It's just I had a couple of big ones that really, these 2 right here is what did me in, right? These 2 big ones is what did me in today. And I'll go into that for a second. So, mistake number 1, I came in late to the market, okay? And there was news coming up. Okay, let's go to the news page. There was news coming up, and I came in late to the market, so I only had about 10 minutes to evaluate, check the charts, and see what was going on, right? So I was kind of rushed. So mistake number 1, being late. So you're rushed, your mindset is not quite right, and you're rushed. Mistake number 2, when I was looking at the market data that was going to be released, I initially only looked at the data that was going to be released at 8:30. This data right here, right? This is the only data I initially reviewed. Now, when you look at this data, without looking at the rest of the numbers that were coming, the rest of the expectations that were coming later, this was my only reference. So let's go to the chart and see what happened. Let's look at what happened. So initially when the news came in, as I showed, the numbers dictated that the dollar was going to spike and gold was going to fall. So looking here at this is USD CAD, the dollar did spike, right? And initially, I was in profit, right? But because I was only considering the initial data, my anticipation was the dollar was going to continue going up, which it did not. It reversed, and these trades obviously closed once they crossed over the blue line for a loss. When it crossed over, then I started to reevaluate the market and realized the market was reversing. Went in for a sell trade session and got a small hammer, it's a hammer time here, small hammer time here, which I closed off at this level, which is this level right here, because my anticipation was, okay, the market might get a little funky here and I don't want to lose any gains that I had, so I closed it here. But obviously the market continued to go down, and once it got to this level, which was this level right here, then it reversed. It started to reverse. You can see signs of reversing. And then also, obviously I looked at QC down here, and also RSI was in the extreme oversold territory, right below 25. And then once I saw the reversal here, and then the candle start to change color, it was time to go in. So I went in. I had this one hammer time on USD JPY or UJ. It was pretty much the same story, but with UJ, I did pretty good because initially I waited on UJ, so I had none of this mess. Then when the reversal started, I went in for 2 hammer times, right? I closed at this level because my anticipation was price is not going to go further, given that today's Friday and momentum was going down. But and initially it did, but then it went back up again. So I could have went in for a third one, or maybe left this one open. But hey, hindsight is 20/20. Okay. Now the big problem was gold, and this is where mistake number 2 comes in, right? I had a misread because again, you could see as anticipated, gold did spike down, and initially I was in good profit, which I should have closed, but I didn't. It actually reversed pretty quickly, and as it crossed over, I started getting into trouble. Right now, once it had turned over, I did make some successful trades, including this reverse hammer time on gold. But the big mistake was right here, and it wasn't so much that the reversal happened and it closed in a loss. It was I was using the wrong lot size, right? So again, if we look at the trades here, because again, you see the loss is 2,700 plus the fees is 2,900, right? But if we look at all the trades, you can see that, like I mentioned before, I did win most of my trades. Even though these initial losses were there, these could have been easily recovered. That is not an issue. The big issue was these 2 trades, because just these 2 trades, this one was for negative 3,400 and this one was almost 1,300. So just these 2 trades is almost $5,000. And the reason why is because you can see right here, I was using the wrong lot size. 2.5 was not the lot size that I should be using in gold, and 2.5, right? So when it reversed, the losses were bigger than they would normally be, right? And that was the problem, mistake number 2. And so I had to start digging out of this hole, right? Now, I dug as much as I could based on what the market was doing, not because you simply want to dig yourself out of the hole, because that would be revenge trading. But actually, after these losses, I kind of walked away from the computer, and that's why there's a huge gap in recording, and I just came back to results. And then I came back and I decided to concentrate more on seeing what the market was doing versus recording as well, right? So as a result, most of the trades after that were successful, as you can see, most of them except this one, which reversed the losses. But obviously I wasn't able to dig out completely of the hole. In fact, if you add the losses, you will notice, I already did this, you will notice that it was a total of minus $5,700, right? $5,700, right? But now the loss is 29.78, right? So if we minus 29.78 and 6 cents, so if we subtract that, right, we are left with 27.8944. So this was the amount of trades that I recovered, the amount that I recovered, right? Because the loss was actually 5,700. So my assumption is, right, so 27.89. So let's say 2,800, give or take, right? So if it wasn't for these big trades, I would have had at least $2,500 in positive. But because of that mistake of using the wrong lot sizes right here, the result is 2,900 in loss, right? So Watch your lot sizes. Make sure you're using the right lot sizes based on your capital. Okay. So mistake number one, late and therefore rushed, so was not in the right frame of mind. Mistake number two, not reviewing all the available data, right? And then mistake number three, using the wrong lot size, right? In fact, I should have probably just waited and traded after 10 a.m. because I would have been much better off. So that was also a big mistake, not reviewing the whole data and being patient until the whole data had come in, being late and therefore being rushed and not being in the right frame of mind, and then of course the lot size. That's a very big one. Use the correct lot size. So as a result, today I suffered a loss, but we'll live on to trade, and that is trading. All right, take care.